Hi everyone, this is Jane. I'm sorry I haven't made a recording in quite a while. I've been really tired. I've been doing multiple house sits. But I also had a flu jab and that wiped me out for a couple of days. So today's video, I wanted to talk very quickly about the flu shot and the upcoming election, which I think are a bit different to what you're used to. So first of all, very quickly, the flu shot. Several years ago, lots of people, like 8,000 Australians, died from the flu. And the thing is, when you have a public healthcare system, it's in the government's best interest to prevent illness as much as possible, because ultimately it saves a lot of money. So from the government's perspective, it is much cheaper for them to pay for a vaccine than it is to pay for people to be hospitalised and in intensive care and receiving all of these medical treatments. So they encourage people to do things that are healthy as much as possible. And that includes vaccines, that includes trying to reduce obesity, not smoking, all of those sorts of things, basically trying to stop preventable illness, because at the end of the day, it actually, apart from helping the population out and making them live longer and healthier, happier lives, it saves the government a ton of money and relieves pressure off the public hospital system if people are at least looking after their health wherever they can. So a few years ago, a lot of people died from the flu here, and so the government introduced a scheme to make it easier for people to get vaccinated. So traditionally, you would have to make an appointment with your GP, go to your doctor, get a script, go to the pharmacy, pay for the script, pay for the doctor's appointment, get the jab, and then go home. And it's a bit of a rigmarole for something that's really pretty straightforward. So now they have trained pharmacists to do it. So I had a script I needed to pick up anyway. So I walked into the pharmacy and said, look, do you have any spots open? Do you have time to give me a flu jab at the moment? And they said, Carol, do you have time to give a flu shot? And she said, yeah, sure, why not? So I toddled over to a little desk and signed my life away on some paperwork and paid about $12 while I got an injection in my arm and someone else prepared the script. And then you just have to hang around for 5 minutes just to make sure you haven't had an adverse reaction to the injection, and then you're sweet to go. So that's all it was. And as I said, it's a government initiative to try and save people's lives, but also to try and relieve pressure off the public hospital system. So this argument that anti-vaxxers sometimes come out with, saying that injections and vaccinations are a big pharma con. Well, not when it's actually more expensive to get the illness than it is to get the shot. So, and particularly when you have the government paying a lot of subsidies for a lot of medication, they're a very big organisation. They're not individual consumers buying individual medications. So we have a system called the Pharmaceutical Benefit Scheme, where the government subsidises the costs of a lot of really common medications, so they're cheap for the individual to buy over the counter. So the government then goes to the pharmaceutical company and says, well, we will have a contract with you and sell your medications, but we won't if you make it at an exorbitant price. And so then the pharmaceutical company has motivation to reduce the price of their product, or at least not increase it exorbitantly, so that the government will then have a contract with them, and then they'll sell lots and lots and lots of their product. So from that scheme of things, the system's a bit different.